Hello and welcome to All the Words She Wrote. This is a yuri visual novel where we're going to follow our heroine Mayo as she becomes the assistant to her favorite author, who is quite different from what she imagined. Now, I originally wanted to play a different game from Ebi-hime next. She's created a lot of visual novels over the years. But the one I wanted to play first it has some more serious themes, and with everything going on right now in the world, I thought we could all need something that's a little more lighthearted. So yeah, let's get into All the Words She Wrote. Here are your slices of lemon cheesecake. Thank you very much for your patronage. I hand the bag over to Mrs. Kimura, who accepts it. The plastic crinkles when she grips it, and the corners of her eyes crease in a motherly smile. Thank you, Mayo dear. I'll look forward to tucking into this later, as I'm sure will Miho. This should cheer her up, if nothing else. You said she had a bad day at school? Unfortunately, she got into another altercation with Keiichi. Or rather, he got into an altercation with her. Mrs. Kimura rests a palm to her cheek and sighs. I would say that kids will be kids, but Keiichi really does take things too far. He pushed my Miho off the swings, and she has quite the nasty bump on her forehead. It's a good thing she didn't cut herself. What a jerk! I scowl, upset on Miho's behalf. There were a few boys like that back when I was in elementary school too. They'd pull the girls' pigtails, flip up their skirts, and throw things at them. Though not, I hasten to add, all at the same time. They were the worst. Same here. Nina, my colleague, pipes up. She toys with the ends of her pink hair, dyed, obviously, and pulls a face. Little boys can be seriously horrid. They're like total assholes. Oh my. Mrs. Kimura laughs. You should probably watch that tone of yours, Nina dear. I don't mind much, but your other customers might. I wouldn't want you getting in trouble with your boss. Oh, shoot. That's a good point. Sorry about that. I wasn't thinking. You never do you? It's rarely polite to bring assholes up in conversation, even if we're talking in a strictly figurative sense, but it seems especially unfitting right now. Nina and I both work at this fancy chain bakery, which is fairly popular among families. The display cabinet is full of delicate little cakes and pastries, tarts, choux buns, donuts, and the like. These cakes and pastries are all artfully arranged, like something from a fairy tale. They come in pastel colors with little rosettes of icing piped on top of them. They're the sort of desserts that look so cute you'd feel guilty about eating them. They're way too neat and sweet to bear any relation to the particular part of the human anatomy that Nina mentioned. You should think before you open your mouth, Nina. All sorts of nonsense comes spewing out otherwise. Why don't you take a few tips from me? I always mind my manners. Yeah. Nina rolls her eyes. I would too, aren't we getting a little too serious here? Or just some curses? You're so incredible, Mayo. I'm proud of you. Do you want a gold star? Well, if you're offering... I wasn't, like, being serious. I know, you're such a meanie. I grinned to show Nina that there's no hard feelings, then looked back at Mrs. Kimura. I hope this cheesecake cheers Miho up anyways. I'm sure it will. This bakery is Miho's favorite, and mine. Your cheesecakes are to die for. Not literally, I hope. Not quite. I might be getting on in years, but there's life in me yet. Mrs. Kimura laughs. She's a jovial sort of woman, and I rarely see her without a smile on her face. Mrs. Kimura's daughter, meanwhile, is the exact opposite. Miho's a shy, retiring girl who might as well be superglued to her mother's side. She's forever hiding behind Mrs. Kimura's back whenever she accompanies her to Blue Mountain. I think Miho might be a bit afraid of Nina, what with her dyed hair and her manicured nails. But no, that can't be right. Miho hides behind her mother's back when I'm working with Sakura too, and Sakura's distinctly non-threatening. Maybe Miho's afraid of everyone, full stop. Is that why she gets picked on at school so much? Thank you for asking after Miho, Mayo. It's good of you to take an interest in her. I'm sure Miho will be happy to know that you're thinking of her. Oh, you know me, I'm a sucker for gossip. Even playground gossip? That's the most interesting kind. You'd best come back and tell us if that Keiichi kid got what he deserved. His teacher should give him a stern talking to, or I'll be pissed. Nina sounds unusually fired up. She acts languid most of the time, like a cat, but she springs to life when confronted by the injustices of the world, particularly those aimed against cute, innocent kids like Miho. I think Nina might make for a good superheroine. She'd definitely be the Pink Ranger. Keiichi really is an Nina catches herself before she can utter another expletive. That was a close call. I mean, he's most assuredly annoying. He is quite the handful, yes. I do wish his mother would discipline him more. Have you thought about talking to her? I've tried, but I've not made much progress. She imagines every slight against her son is a direct attack upon her. Wow. It's rather tiring. Mrs. Kimura sighs, then shakes her head. Oh, there I go again, rabbiting on. I'm sorry for bothering you, dears. I'm sure you have more important things to attend to. It's fine. It's been a slow day. Mrs. Kimura's the only person here other than Nina, and she doesn't count. She isn't a customer. You're not a bother at all. I appreciate it, but I really must get on. Tonight's dinner won't make itself. Oh yeah, good point. I guess I'll see you later then. Later. Goodbye, girls. I'm sure I'll be back soon enough. I can't keep away from Blue Mountain's cheesecakes for the life of me, though it would probably do me some good. Laughing, Mrs. Kimura turns on her heel to leave. I watch her depart, the bell above the door jingling as she pulls it open. With Mrs. Kimura gone, Blue Mountain feels decidedly less homey. It's strange, I ponder, that there are no other customers around at this hour. This branch of Blue Mountain is close to the train station, which means it's almost always busy. Most customers step into the store and place their orders in double quick time, all hurry, hurry, hurry. They glance at their phones while I'm bagging up their tarts and cakes, and they throw their change down on the counter like they're roasted soybeans and we're in the middle of Setzobun. What gives? I prop my cheek up with one hand, my elbow resting on the counter, and sigh. That was a big sigh. Are you alright? What? Oh. I brush Nina's concern aside with a wave of my hand. I'm fine, yeah. Good, I'm glad. Nina purses her lips together. If you don't have any problems, you should help clean this place up a bit. The floor could use sweeping. Ugh. I pull a face. Do I have to? Yes, you have to. The boss will be mad if we let the store get dirty. But that's such a pain. You say that about almost everything. So, not quite everything. It's near enough. Nina's right, of course. There are definitely tasks I could be tending to during this lull in business, but if I'm being frank, I don't have the motivation. It's a recurring problem with me. I think it started back in elementary school. I've always been lazy. It's too late to change my ways. It's never too late. You can always change, so long as you're still breathing. Now, get to work. Nina might look like a typical party girl, what with her dyed hair and her false nails, but she takes her job surprisingly seriously. I guess it's true what they say. You really can't judge a book by its cover. You're so mean, Nina. You sound just like my mother. Does she often scold you? Not as much as she used to. It was real bad back in high school, though. Isn't that because you never did your homework and you never studied for your exams? Well, maybe. Jeez. Nina shakes her head. Your poor mother. It's no wonder she got mad at you. Did you take any of your classes seriously? I don't know. Home economics, maybe? I've always been good at baking. What about math or history? Ugh, don't even get me started on those. I can't remember math equations for the life of me or the precise date of the siege of Kanagasaki. Not that it really matters. Agreed. Very much agreed. I always found history class interesting if we're talking about, actual events, something that happened, or like how society evolved, I don't know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, exact dates of when some treaty was signed or whatever, I don't know. I was never good with that. I've been out of high school for 4 years and I've never once needed to expand and simplify a set of brackets, let alone rattle off facts about the Sengoku era. I'm starting to suspect that mayhap my teachers and my parents were lying to me. Math is only really important if you want to be a math professor or maybe a professional chess player, and I can't even pretend to be interested in either of these occupations. Ancient history, meanwhile, is so not my forte. I don't see how any of these old wars and rebellions from hundreds of years ago have any impact on my life. My mother always tots when she catches me reading anything by Tsuchimi Rui. She says I should live in the real world. But in what world, I ask you, is the Sengoku era relevant? History is only ever interesting when it's presented in a bunch of easily digestible TV episodes, with all the key figures played by good-looking actors. Most of the stuff I learned at school was utterly useless, and that's why it never stuck. It's all irrelevant. That's what I think, at least. But maybe I can only afford to think like this because I never intended to go to university from the get-go. I've always known I'm not academically minded. I think my teachers knew that too, which is why they stopped haranguing me over my subpar test scores. They knew there was no point. I was already a lost cause. You're not going to university, right, Mayo? Nope. My grades were shocking, and I don't mean that in a good way. I gathered as much. Just for the record, my grades were fine. I'm just also lazy and not interested in all the subjects. And I did go to university. But oh well. Doesn't mean someone's smart or whatever. Forget the big-name establishments like Tokyo U. Not even the smaller, decidedly less glamorous institutions with only a few thousand students would want to take me in. My mother wanted me to enroll at a cram school and retake my exams, but I refused. I wasn't interested, and I'm still not. That's how I ended up at Blue Mountain, though I didn't start working here right away. A bunch of other menial jobs came between that, all of them in customer service. First, I worked at a convenience store, then in a second-hand bookstore, then over at Petit Jardin. I've had so many jobs over the last 4 years, I can't remember all of them. I'm pretty fond of Blue Mountain though. It's quite classy for a chain bakery, and the uniforms are cute. The pay's not incredible, I'm not going to be a billionaire anytime soon, but I don't mind that. Life's short, so I'd rather spend my time doing things I enjoy. Not that I love customer service jobs. They're not scintillating by any means. I like working more than I've ever enjoyed sitting at a desk though, studying or listening to a teacher drone on and on. I've always enjoyed chatting to people, when they're not being unbearably rude, that is, and the money definitely doesn't hurt. I don't want to pry, but don't you have, any future plans? Not really. There's nothing you want to do? If there is, I haven't figured it out yet. Doesn't that worry you? Nuh-uh. I shake my head. My future problems are for the future me to solve. Present me is perfectly happy with the way things are right now. Thank you very much. Wow. Nina whistles. I'm not sure if she's impressed or perturbed by my attitude. Maybe it's a mixture of both. I was sweating bullets during my last year of high school. I had no idea what I was going to do with myself. It was pretty scary. If I hadn't gotten into beauty school, I'd be totally lost right about now. I need some kind of structure to my days, or I start to feel all aimless. There's no way I could live like you. Nina's always making to-do lists on her phone, which she swipes out during lulls in the workday. She's far, far more organized than I am. It's quite impressive. Sometimes I wonder if my mother would prefer me if I was more like Nina. But then I look at Nina and her tan skin, her acrylic nails and her dyed hair, and I reconsider. My mother's almost as anal about appearances as she is actual results. I could be a nuclear physicist, and my mother would still cringe in shame if I dressed like Nina. Okay, that's harsh. Oh well, I'm not my mother, thank goodness, and I won't judge her. You're such a good girl. Are you sure you don't want a gold star? I'll pass, thanks. I'd rather you started sweeping the floor. It always comes back to that, huh? I sigh. Why'd I have to sweep the floor anyways? Because I did it last time and I took out the trash, though I just got my nails done. You need to start pulling your weight around here, Mayo. But I deal with all the customers. And Nina raises an eyebrow. Do you see any customers right now? Well, no, but... Then start sweeping. Boo, you really are a meanie. I look to the door anxiously, hoping a customer will trundle on in, but of course they don't. It really is quiet today. I wonder why. It's a little after 1700, 5 o'clock, according to the clock on the wall, which is smack dab in one of our busy periods. We usually get our biggest influx of customers during the lunch period, from around 12 to 1 and again between 5 to 6, when people start heading home. Just quickly, I think these signs on the wall are mirrored. This, like if they're supposed to be Japanese signs, that looks mirrored. But okay. Maybe there was a signal failure on the KQ main line. That might explain the distinct lack of businessmen and women in their crisp black suits, desperate for something sweet to invigorate them after a busy day. Groaning, I pull myself upright, then stretch. I mean to get started on the busy work. Really, I do, but... Oh! The telltale ring of the bell above the shop's door makes me pause. I abandon my plans and bound back to the counter, all smiles. Welcome to Blue Mountain. It's lovely to see you today. I launch into the greeting spiel my boss drills into my head on autopilot, but my words falter once my brain registers who this customer actually is. The prospective customer is a tall, slender woman with sleek black hair, cut into a fashionably feathered bob. Her eyes are made up, her lips carmine, and she's wearing a pinstripe suit. Very fashionable. She carries herself with such poise, she looks a bit like a model, but I know you'd not find her in the pages of any magazine. This woman is no regular to Blue Mountain, but I recognize her regardless. It's my Aunt Sai. Auntie! I beam, my voice more effusive than once it was. It's been a while. It's good to see you. Mayo. Sai blinks. She looks surprised to see me here, as I am her, but the moment passes and she soon regains her cool. If I had to use one word to describe my Aunt Sai, cool would probably be it. She doesn't let anything faze her. I've always looked up to her, ever since I was old enough to understand the concept of a role model. She's the sort of adult I'd love to be, if only I had the motivation. It's good to see you too, dear. I didn't know you were working here. I thought you were still at Petit Jardin? Oh, I quit that job a few months back. All the screaming kids were driving me insane. I've worked at Blue Mountain since February. I see. It's been a while then. I didn't think I'd be seeing you when I ducked in here. Sai smiles a dark, lipsticky smile. Miyako never tells me what you're getting up to. That's probably because she's ashamed of me. She still wishes I'd gone to university. Still? Sa raises an eyebrow. It's been 4 years. Doesn't she know you're not interested? I've told her a bunch of times, but it never seems to stick. Mother's pretty stubborn. She thinks everybody's gotta march to the beat of her drum. That sounds like Miyako, alright. She always knows what's best for everybody. Or at least she thinks she does. Tell me about it. I grin. I won't let her talk me around though. I'm just as stubborn as she is, if not more. There's no way I'm going to university. It'd be a total waste. I concur. You shouldn't let Miyako push you into it, not when you're so opposed to the idea. It's important to do what you think is best for yourself. That's what I keep saying. My mother never listens to me though. Maybe you could try speaking to her on my behalf? Maybe I could. It's funny you would mention that. Saya begins to examine our selection of pastries and cakes. She places one hand beneath her chin, her black bob brushing against her jaw. Nina looks at me curiously, a crease forming on her brow. She looks lost, a third wheel in mine and Saya's friendly, familiar conversation. Is this woman really your aunt, Mayo? Nina murmurs this under her breath, so Saya can't hear her. You don't look at all alike. More or less, yeah. More or less? The furrow in Nina's brow deepens further still. And how does that work exactly? We're not related by blood. She's my mother's friend from university. I saw her so much as a kid she might as well be my real aunt though. That's why I call her auntie. Ah, I see. She looks way too put together to be any relation of yours. My mother would probably be mad if she heard you saying that. Goodness me, it's hard to decide. These cakes all look so good. Saya's voice cuts through mine and Nina's whispered conversation. She raises her head, then asks me a question. Is there anything you would recommend, Mayo? Let me think. I ponder for a few moments before replying. Maybe one of the fruit tarts? They're pretty tasty. What about Miyako? Does she like fruit tarts? She does, yeah. She likes most sweet things, though she says she's on a diet. She was like that back in university too. There was a Chinese bakery near our dorms she frequented almost daily. I wouldn't be surprised if she single-handedly kept that place in business. Saya smiles, amused by the memory. I suppose I'll take one of the fruit tarts to go then. A large one. Coming right up! I retrieve the large circular tart from the display unit at Saya's behest and box it up for her. I take great pains to tie the decorative ribbon about the box as neatly as possible. Do you need anything else? That should be everything. Thank you, Mayo. I hope you and Miyako enjoy it. Huh? I blink. What's this got to do with us? I thought you were buying that tart for yourself. Oh, I'm sure I'll sample a piece of it, but I didn't get this for me. It's actually a present for your mother. I was planning to stop by your house later, you see, and I thought it only polite to bring a gift for the occasion. It's been a while since my last visit. There's something I want to discuss with you, and your parents too. Will you be getting off work anytime soon? We could walk back to your house together. That'd be pretty convenient, but I've still got a while until my shift ends. I don't want to keep you waiting. It's fine. You can head off early, Mayo. I'll cover for you. Are you sure that's alright? If it wasn't, I wouldn't offer. Nina rolls her eyes. Your aunt must have something important to tell you, else she wouldn't have come all the way out here. You should spend some time with her. That's more important than working for an extra half hour, especially when it's so quiet right now. Nina! I can feel my face flushing with happiness. I have a sudden urge to pull Nina into a big old embrace. But I don't think she'd appreciate that. Knowing Nina, she'd probably scowl and tell me to stop being so sappy. Since hugging Nina is a no-no, I have to settle for flashing Nina a peace sign, coupled with my toothiest smile. Thanks, Nina. You're the best. I'm not doing this for free, though. I'm expecting you to cover for me the next time my boyfriend asks me out on a date, okay? Okay. I agree enthusiastically, without missing a beat. It's been so long since I last saw Auntie Sai. She's been buried under an avalanche of work recently, or so I've heard. I wonder what compelled her to come all the way out here, from a fancy office in Shibuya out to Kawasaki. It's all very intriguing. But I guess I'll find out soon enough. Sai and I walk along the street, threading our way between the crowds. My house is a 15-minute walk away, and while we could take the train, it'd be pretty crowded this time of day. It's probably faster to use our feet. Sai and I are so close, our shoulders are practically brushing. She's walking slowly, the box from Blue Mountain cradled in her arms. She's holding it carefully, almost reverently, like a mother might hold a newborn baby. I'm pretty pleased that Sai is being so protective of her purchase. The fruit tarts from Blue Mountain are really something, almost like works of art. It'd be a shame to spoil it. The tart Sai picked out has a meringue base, with sliced strawberries placed just so on top in a circular pattern. The whole thing is garnished with blueberries and whipped cream, and it looks like a flower, or maybe a firework. I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. I've been working at Blue Mountain for about 4 months now, but I don't think I'll ever get tired of their desserts. I'm partial to their sponge cakes, but the light crisp fruit tarts are perfect for the summer weather. Now I want some too. Ah, geez, now my stomach's starting to rumble. I must be hungrier than I thought. Are you alright, Mayu? Sai shoots me an amused look. You're staring at the box on my hands like a starving wolf. Are my feelings that obvious? You're not exactly subtle. Sai smiles. I take it your job at Blue Mountain is hungry work? Kind of, yeah. It's tough being surrounded by cute pastries and cakes all the time without being able to eat them. We tend to get a lot of customers too, though today wasn't so bad. When did you last eat? Around midday, I think. That's when I had my break. It's been a while, and I only had a pitiful sandwich from the convenience store. I'm starved. We should be back soon enough. Miyako will be there already, won't she? Yeah, she doesn't work Thursdays. My mother is a part-time employee at a local elementary school. She doesn't work Thursdays or Fridays, which gives her ample time to attend to the housework. She's always asking me to pitch in and lend a hand, to my chagrin. I've never liked tidying up. I don't mind helping my mother. My mother prepared breakfast and sometimes I handle dinner myself because I like cooking. The cleanup's torturous though. Speaking of dinner, I bet Mom will make me wait until after dinner before I can try some of that tart. She wouldn't want me spoiling my appetite. I scuffed the sidewalk with the tip of my sneaker. She's so picky. No, she's only picky because she cares about you. I think she cares too much. She gets so worked up about everything. It's not the end of the world if I forget to wash the dishes or take in the laundry. I wish my mother was as cool as you, Auntie Sai. You never get on my case. That's because I don't live with you. If you were my daughter, I'm sure I'd have a few choice words to tell you. That's what I was thinking. Someone who's more distant, like, is not, living with you. It's always going to be different. Pleasant words? Maybe. That depends. On what? On how pleasant you feel like being yourself, little madam. Saya nudges me in the side with her shoulder, her calming lips pulled into a smile. You've not seen me in the office, but I can be incredibly strict, especially when there's deadlines to meet. There's a reason a lot of my co-workers call me a demon. If I can make grown men cry, I don't think any child of mine would stand a chance. Is that why you never had kids, Auntie Sai? That, and I've never really had the time. We all want different things out of life. I don't know if my mother wanted a kid like me. But I guess it's too late for that. She's stuck with me now. Miyako loves you a lot, Mayo. She always talks about you. About how impossible I am? Sometimes. It shows that she cares, though. Sure. I roll my eyes skyward. I know my mother cares about me, really, despite all her nagging. There are parents out there who charge their kids rent for staying at home past the age of 18. Or even worse, parents who kick their kids to the curb the moment they reach adulthood. My mother's not like that. I think she's glad to have me around, despite her grousing. She just worries about me. She worries about everything, actually, not just me. I think that's why her hair is going grey already. My mother is a year younger than Sai, but you wouldn't think that to compare them. Saya is very trim and fit and fashionable, with her bobbed hair and her fancy suits. My mother, meanwhile, wears her hair in a loose side ponytail, strands escaping, and she wears these ratty old cardigans and long skirts. She often looks tired and she's forever complaining about having headaches. But maybe that's a side effect of having to look after a kid for so many years, especially an annoying one like me. Well, and you said she's working at a school? That can be stressful. So, how have you been, Auntie? Are you still busy with work? I'm always busy with work. You've got a lot of deadlines to meet? Always. It's quite hectic since one of my authors managed to make it big. I'm in and out of meetings every day. I'm glad for it, of course, but it's quite stressful. I've been doing overtime at the office for months. Auntie Sai is a literary agent. She represents a bunch of different authors, and it's her job to land them publishing contracts with lots of zeros appended to the end. I don't know much about Auntie Saya's job, but I've gathered she spends a lot of time cracking the whip, keeping all her signed authors on schedule. Apparently, writers are notoriously bad for failing to meet deadlines. Aunt Saya has to send droves of polite but insistent emails every single day, and a lot of phone calls too. My aunt's job might sound more glamorous than my mother's at an elementary school, keeping naughty kids in line, but I don't know if they're all that different, really. Ugh, that sounds tough. It can be, but I try not to let it get to me. I need to keep a cool head, or things would soon fall apart. I run a very tight ship. I'll bet. So... My curiosity piqued. I peer at my aunt. If you're as busy as all that, why'd you decide to pay us a visit? You must have something very serious to discuss. It's not serious per se. Nobody's died at least, although... Saya presses her lips together. Komikado might if she keeps trying my temper. Who's that? One of your authors? Indeed, she's quite the handful. What's she written? Anything I'd know? I can't blurt that out to you on the street, silly. Saya adjusts her grip on the blue mountain box, then gives my forehead a flick. It's confidential. It can't be that confidential. I've never heard of an author called Komikado before. Not that that's saying much, I don't make a habit of reading. Not real novels anyway. I've been really into this popular light novel series, The Forest of the Elves and the Pressured Princess by Tsujimi Rui, but that's where my appreciation for the written word ends. I don't have the attention span for any of the serious, classic-type novels they made us read in high school. I think they're definitely boring. If Rashomon came with a bunch of full-page illustrations of cute, busty elf girls, maybe I'd be interested, but it doesn't. It's such a waste. You wouldn't have heard of Komikado. She writes under an alias. Don't a lot of authors do that? They like their privacy. My clients in particular. Komikado wouldn't be happy if she knew you'd been asking questions. I was only asking cause you brought her up. Touché. Saya smiles. I suppose I can't be too mad at you then. So, is this Komikado person related to your visit? I can't think of how she could be, I don't even know who she is, but I don't see why else I would have mentioned her. There's a brief pause, broken by the sound of our soles against the sidewalk. Saya's wearing heels, and they strike the ground with a series of short, staccato jabs. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Saya readjusts the blue mountain box in both her hands. Then she replies. Yes, she is. Huh. My brow furrows. How does that track? I don't get it. You'll see soon enough. I'll explain everything when we get to your house. Can't you explain it now? I'm on tenterhooks here. Sorry, Mayo, but this matter involves your mother too. And your father, I suppose. I'd like them to be present, to avoid repeating myself. Dad too? This must be a big deal if you're getting the family patriarch involved. Well, I say that, but it's no secret that my mother is the one who rules the roost. She's the one who keeps a grip on the purse strings. dad is a bit like a puppet. He obeys my mother without question, presumably because, after all the years spent together, he knows her well enough to know that it's not worth questioning her authority. My mother generally knows best anyway. There's no point trying to argue with her. It's really not that serious, Mayo. Don't look so worried. You're not in any trouble. But Komikado is? Oh, she's not just in trouble, she is trouble. Right. I still don't understand Sa's motivations for coming over, but I feel more intrigued about her plans now than I did before. What in the world is she up to? Well, they said it's going to take 15 minutes to reach home, so it shouldn't be much longer, was what I was about to say. This is very slow-paced, and I don't mind it. Understand if other people don't. I think the shop page even, mentioned that this is slow burn, which I like generally. My mother greets Saya enthusiastically once we arrive back home, with a whole bunch of exclamations and gesticulations. Saya, it's so good to see you. How have you been? Well, Saya begins, but she doesn't get a chance to respond. My mother ushers her inside, then sets about brewing a pot of green tea before Saya has had so much as a chance to take her shoes off. My mother continues her assault while bustling about the kitchen, firing questions at Saya as she ferrets cups and spoons out from the cupboards. She doesn't even pause to draw in breath. It's quite impressive, really, in a manic sort of way. How has work been treating you? I hope it hasn't been too stressful. It was so good of you to come and see us. I've missed our little chats. Oh, and what's that? A tart? Did you bring that for me? You shouldn't have. I appreciate the thought, of course, but we are friends. You didn't need to go out of your way for me. It's a lovely tart, though. Where did you get it? At Blue Mountain, you say? The bakery by the station? Why, that's where Maya works. Did you happen to run into her? And she walked you back here. How nice. We don't have guests over all that often, so my mother's keen housewifely senses must have kicked into overdrive. My mother's on the shorter side, and she's rather slender, but she rushes through the house like a force of nature. It takes several minutes of forced hospitality before my mother deigns to sit at the table with Saya and me. When she finally gets around to sipping the green tea she brewed, it's already gone lukewarm. Now, you said you had something important to discuss? Do you want me to call Yukihiro? I can tell him to hurry back home. He should be finished with work soon. Then we can all have a proper conversation. That would be appreciated. Thank you very much, Mieko. Saya bows her head politely, which makes my mother laugh. Please, lighten up, Saya. You don't need to bother with formalities. Not around me. We've known one another too long. I think that's a bit rich coming from the woman who keeps bobbing up and down to pour more cups of green tea, but I decide to keep silent on that score. My mother sends a text to my dad about Saya's visit, but his response is less than favorable. It looks like he's still busy. He won't be back for at least an hour, at the earliest. Is that alright, Saya? I know how busy you are. I'd hate to keep you waiting. It's fine. I thought this might happen, so I decided to leave my evening empty. Moreover, this is my fault for dropping by so unexpectedly. It would be unfair of me to expect Yukihiro to change his schedule for my sake. Why don't we use this as an opportunity to catch up? It feels like it's been a small eternity since we spent any time together. I'm sorry for neglecting you, Mieko. That's quite alright. These things happen. We're all busy adults, and we all have our own lives. I've been rather busy myself as of late. Why, just the other day, my mother launches into a lengthy diatribe about our ongoing problems with a boiler, to which Saya listens sympathetically. Talk about the boiler soon transitions to my mother's woes regarding one of her students, a particularly naughty boy called, you'll never guess, Keiichi. My mother works at the same elementary school that Mrs. Kimura's daughter, Miho, attends. As such, she's intimately familiar with Keiichi, who, from what I've gathered, seems to be a scourge on society. He sounds like a real handful. My mother's been trying to flag up Keiichi's behavior to his mother for months, to little avail. She thinks her son is a perfect angel. She refuses to admit that he can do any wrong. Talking with that woman is a nightmare. It's no wonder her son is such a menace. I doubt she ever punishes him. I don't agree with smacking children, but sometimes even I think that boy needs a good shake. He's done worse to his classmates. Take Miho, for example. And so it goes. My mother talks on and on and on, as she's prone to doing. Sai nods sympathetically and says at all the right moments, which encourages my mother further. I sit there all the while, mute and rather bored. I keep sneaking glances at the clock while nursing my cup of green tea between my fingers. When's Dad going to get back? It's been almost an hour already. Wait, I just noticed this is a JR clock. Oh, cute. I want to hear what Sa's news is. That's far more interesting than the boiler or, if I'm being honest, Keiichi's antics. I already heard all about him from Mrs. Kimura earlier. I've heard his name so many times during the last couple of months, I'm starting to wonder if he's some kind of supernatural phenomenon. I wonder... If you said Keiichi 3 times in front of the bathroom mirror at night, would the fiend himself appear? I might have to try that someday. My musings are soon cut short, however, by the sound of the front door. The door creaks open, it needs oiling, then slams shut with a dull thud that echoes throughout the house. That must be Yukihiro. He always does that. My mother sighs empathetically. I've told him not to slam the door goodness knows how many times. He'll chip the paintwork in the hall, but he never listens. I suppose that's men for you. They always think they know best. I hear my father remove his coat and slide off his shoes in the foyer. Then he comes padding into the living room, looking worn and weary after a long day's labor. If he hears my mother's complaints, he doesn't comment on them. He must be used to it after more than 20 years of her snide jibes. I wonder if all married couples are like that? That's a bit of a depressing thought. I agree. I mean, some playful teasing here and there is absolutely fine, but constant nagging... I hope Itsuki and Princess Luna's relationship never goes that way when they finally get together, which they will. They have to. I've been waiting for that confession scene for 3 years. I'm home, everybody. Sorry about the delay. I meant to come over sooner, but things kept piling up. It's alright. Don't worry, Yukihiro. Saya flashes my dad a consoling smile. I know how it can be. Jobs that should take 5 minutes often end up lasting half an hour, if not longer. That's exactly how it is. I'm bone tired. My dad sighs, then takes a seat at the living room. So, what's all this for? He casts his eye at the fancy fruit tart on the table, which has been half devoured already. Sarah brought it from Blue Mountain as a present. It was very thoughtful of her. She needn't have troubled herself with it really, but I'm glad she did. Do you want a piece, dear? I probably shouldn't. I need to think about my weight, but... Oh, what the heck. You only live once. It would be rude not to, really, when Sarah brought it for us. That's the spirit. Sarah grins. And I don't know why you're worrying about your weight. You look as trim as a man in his 20s. Well, I don't know about that. My dad looks down at himself, at his round paunch, which protrudes over the top of his belt, and laughs. You're too kind. My mother fetches another plate from the kitchen alongside a freshly brewed pot of green tea and renews her role as the perfect hostess. She pours us all cups of tea, then cuts my dad a thin slice of the fruit tart. There you go, dear. Enjoy. Thank you, I will. It'll make a nice treat after being rushed off my feet all day. My dad eats a bite of the tart, then sighs in contentment. This is delicious. Your daughter's the one who suggested it. She has a good eye for these things. Or maybe a good tongue. Really? Dad smiles at me. Good job, kiddo. I know I can always rely on your expert opinion when it comes to sweets. Now that hits the spot. My dad polishes off a small slice of fruit tart, then washes it down with a sip of green tea. It was very good, though I think your baking might have it beat, Mayo. You're skilled in the kitchen yourself. Nah, I'm not. You're flattering me. Not at all. I could eat your baking all day. My dad casts his gaze down once more to his protruding stomach. Which might explain my current predicament. I think your current predicament, as you termed it, can be attributed more to your own lack of self-control. Well, maybe. Mayo doesn't make it easy on me though, when she is always in the kitchen. How can I refuse her baking as a father? I'm supposed to encourage her. So, Sai. My father turns his attention back to our guest. I must apologize again for my lateness. I hope it wasn't too much of an inconvenience. Oh, it's quite alright. I was having fun talking to Miyako. Being talked at by Miyako would be a more accurate descriptor of the last hour, but again, I don't comment. I've long since learned it's best not to draw aggro from mother-type enemies, not if I want my evenings to be peaceful to any degree. At least Sai seems to enjoy my mother's company. I'm glad to hear it. Have you two been having a girly chat? Oh, yes. Miyako was telling me all about her job and about one of her problem students. Keiichi, I think she said his name was? That little pest. My father sighs. I've never seen the boy, but Miyako talks about him so much it sometimes feels like I have two children. My father catches my eye and smiles. Not that Mayo's a child anymore, I suppose. She's a splendid adult now. Thanks, Dad. I do my best. I know you do, dear, though I do wish you could be a bit more independent. I think I've complained enough for one evening, though. At least she's self-aware. What is it you wanted to tell us, Sai? You've been here so long, I'm sure you're dying to say your piece so you can be gone. Not at all. I've been rather enjoying myself. It's nice to relax every once in a while. But you're right, there is something I want to discuss. I I presume it's something important if you came all the way out here to talk to us? It is important, yes, but it's not particularly serious. There's nothing for you to worry about. This is a mere fancy on my part. You don't need to agree to it, not if you don't want to, but I thought it might make for a good opportunity. Sai pauses to sip a newly poured cup of green tea and glances at me. Miyako has told me you've been struggling to hold down a steady job. Is that true? I wince and slide an inch or two down in my chair. It's true enough that I've been flitting between low-paid part-time jobs for the last couple of years, but it's not something I much want to admit to. Not to a smartly dressed woman like Sai. I like Sai and all, I even regard her as part of my family, but it is kind of awkward. There's no shame in that, of course. It's hard to get by in today's economy, even for university graduates. Jobs are scarce and there's a lot of competition. There are thousands of young people, hundreds of thousands in fact, across the country in the exact same situation as you. That's the unfortunate reality of the world we live in. I do wonder, however, whether you're happy with the way things are. You're getting to the age where you would naturally want a bit more space. At least I would assume so. Are you alright living with your parents? It's fine, I guess. I reply after glancing between my parents. We get along for the most part. Sometimes I think I would like my own place, though. That would go a long way to ceasing the silly bickering between me and my mother. It's not like that'll happen anytime soon. I have like 0 savings. I can't move out, not even to a cruddy apartment complex. This area is way too expensive for little old me. I'd be bankrupted unless I moved somewhere even further away. But that sounds like a huge hassle. Some people might thrive when faced with challenges, but I'm the exact opposite. I don't like exerting unnecessary effort. I just want life to be easy. Don't we all? Well, not all, as you said. Some people just enjoy a challenge, but yeah, for me it's similar to her. If something's easy, I'll take it. Maybe that's why I'm still living with my parents at the age of 24. That's fine, I moved out at 24. It's not necessarily a bad thing. There are, like Sai said, lots of people in my situation. But if I'm being honest, it is starting to get to me. Aren't I getting a bit too old to answer to my mother? I want my own place where I can exist on my own terms, but I don't know how to go about achieving it. It seems like a pipe dream. You're not wrong there. Saya nods, her neat black bob brushing her jawline. It'll be hard for you to rent your own property as it is, working part-time jobs. If you're content with the current situation, I'll leave it at that. But a job opportunity has come up that I believe you would be well suited for. A job? My mother leans across the table, her face alight with intrigue. What sort of job? It's a housekeeping position for one of my clients. A client? Now it's my turn to frown. Does it mean they're a writer? Yes, indeed. She's one of Horizon's most popular writers. She's something of a recluse, and she lives in a large home in the countryside. Lately, she's been having a hard time juggling her household chores with her writing obligations. I'm somewhat worried about her welfare, so I I thought it prudent to hire a housekeeper on her behalf to maintain order. My client stipulated that this housekeeper must be a woman close to her in age, willing to relocate and live with her in the countryside. She was very specific in her demands, which didn't give me much wiggle room. But after pondering the matter for some time, I thought you might make for a good potential candidate. Me? Yes, you. I've heard from Miyako that you're a good cook and you know how to clean. You might not be particularly enthusiastic about the latter point, but the job should pay well enough to motivate you. Really? My mother, ever mercenary when it comes to monetary matters, latches onto this like a dog with a bone. How much are we talking about here? Saya promptly rattles off a figure, which makes even my placid father do a double take. Are you for real right now? Indeed I am. I wouldn't lie about such matters. Huh. I lean back in my chair, stunned into silence. The estimated wage Saya just threw out is like double, maybe even triple what I'm earning right now at Blue Mountain. Those are some seriously large numbers there. If I took this job, I could be, maybe not a millionaire, but it'd give me a huge boost. I might even be able to open a savings account. That is an incredibly generous wage. Would your client really be willing to pay our Mayo that? That is the figure she gave me after some back and forth. I believe she can afford it quite comfortably. She's a very wealthy woman. So she must be, if she can afford to throw money around like that. And our Mayo, if she did take the job, her lodgings would be provided for by a boss? Saya nods. She would be provided bed and board quite free of charge. Naturally, there would be no commuting costs. Really now, that is a good bargain. It sounds almost too good. What's your client's name, Saya? I want to know that too. Who exactly would I be working for? Her name is Komikado Hijiri. She is not so far apart in age from Mayo. She's only 28, and her stories are exceedingly popular. Ah, so we've come back to the mysterious Komikado, have we? I did wonder when Saya brought her up earlier. I guess she must be a big shot author to be able to splash her cash around so lavishly, but like I said before, I've never heard of her. What has Komikado Hijiri written? I asked before, but you avoided the question. That's because we were outside. I didn't want to broadcast Komikado's alter ego to the world. We're alone now, however, so I don't mind telling you the truth. You see... Saya smiles. Komikado doesn't write under her own name, but a pseudonym. It's one you might be familiar with. To the general public, she's more commonly known as Tsuchimi Rui. Tsuchimi? My mother frowns. That name does sound familiar. Where have I heard it before? Does she write crime novels? My parents are none the wiser about this revelation, but I feel like I've been struck with a thunderbolt. My whole body is tingling, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. I can hardly believe it. Does Saya really want me to work for Tsuchimi Rui? Surely she can't mean the Tsuchimi Rui. We must have gotten our wires crossed. I'm getting carried away. There's no way something like this could happen. By Tsuchimi Rui, you don't mean, That isn't the Yuri who wrote Elf Forest, is it? This all feels like too incredible a coincidence to be true, but... Yes, that's right. Komikado Hijiri, otherwise known as Tsuchimi Yuri, is indeed the author of Elf Forest. Oh. I stare at Sae, my mouth hanging open. Other than that single syllable, I don't know what to say. All words have abandoned me. How am I supposed to respond in a situation like this? It's so impossible, it feels like something from a dream, but the chair I'm sitting on is reassuringly real. When I inhale, I can smell the scent of green tea which diffuses from my teacup through the air. This is reality. It doesn't bear much resemblance to my old reality, but it's definitely reality. Sae is offering me a chance to work with Tsuchimi Rui, the Tsuchimi Rui. I'm still in a state of shock, but one thing is clear to me. No matter what Sae says, I don't have a choice in this matter. I have to take her up on this offer, I simply have to. Who in their right mind could ever turn down a chance to meet their idol? It's been a few hours since I left and I'm still reeling from her news. I eat dinner with my parents a little later than usual, then head upstairs. I feel pretty tired, so I decide to take a bath early. I scrub the dirt off my skin and slide into this tub, all the way up to my shoulders. I recline in the blissfully warm water, my arms looped about my bare legs. The curve of my spine is pressed against the lip of the bathtub, which feels comfortingly cool. Hot, muggy steam wafts through the air. It clouds the bathroom mirror and the silvery taps on the end of the tub. I tied my hair back before stepping into the bathtub, so it doesn't trail into the water. I don't feel like toweling it dry again. That sounds too much like hard work. I sigh as the tension fades from my body. My legs feel sore. I've been on my feet since 10 a.m. this morning, when my shift at Blue Mountain started. I've often felt that I wasn't made for physical labor, but I hate the rigidity of academia even more. Perhaps I'm simply not cut out for the world of adults? I've never had a clear idea of what I want from my future. There's no field I'm particularly interested in, and there's nothing I want to be. If I could wish upon a shooting star, I'd of course ask for wealth. Right after world peace, of course. But right now, I've no idea how I'd go about accruing it. I've been drifting aimlessly since I graduated from high school, without any real goals or any motivation. My way of living seems to perturb my friends and my family, but it's never really bothered me. My mother, meanwhile, is always panicking about my future. She's always trying to impress upon me the importance of having clearly defined goals, as if by having a plan of action, I'll be able to make it come true. She's wrong about that, of course. I'm not a psychic, I don't have a crystal ball, and neither was I born with the gift of precognition. I don't know what's going to happen 1 hour from now, let alone 1 year or 1 decade. What's the point in making plans when outside forces might sweep in and destroy them? Life's unpredictable like that. I'm a drifter, but I'm fine with the way things are. I figure things will work out okay, so long as I remain optimistic. Something good will always come up. That's what I've always told myself in any case, and it seems like I was right. Sae's job offer was totally unexpected. It came out of the blue like a bolt of lightning, and in its wake, it's completely disrupted my day-to-day life. I'm going to meet my idol, Tsuchimi Rui. Though I suppose that's not her real name, that's just a pseudonym. The real Rui is a girl around my age called Komikado Hijiri. I always thought Rui was a guy, but I guess not. This evening's been full of surprises, and the chance to spend time with Hijiri, is the biggest surprise of them all. I wonder if Hijiri will sign all my volumes of The Forest of the Elves and The Pressure Princess. Maybe she'll even give me some insider info as to the progression of the kidnapping plot. I want to know what happens to Princess Luluna, and I really want to know what girl Itsuki ends up with. I'll understand if Hijiri doesn't want to share these top secret plot details with me, of course, but she should be up for giving me a few autographs. I bet she'll be happy to know I'm such a huge fan. I don't know, wouldn't it be a bit uncomfortable working so closely with someone who's your fan? That might be tricky, actually. I'm looking forward to the upcoming anime, which should start at the beginning of October. I've been anticipating it eagerly since its announcement. I thought the anime adaptation of Elf Forest would be the highlight of my whole year, but I was wrong. Now I have something even more exciting to fixate on. I can't believe it. I sigh as I sink into the tub, my eyes half lidded. Droplets of moisture begin to beat upon my bare skin. I can feel perspiration trickling down my forehead. I don't bother wiping it away. I must be the luckiest girl in the world. I'm going to see Rui. No, Hijiri. I correct myself. If I'm going to work with Hijiri, I need to get into the habit of calling her by her real name. I doubt she wants to go as a pseudonym in her daily life, unless she'd prefer that. I was about to say, just ask her. Ask her what she prefers. Like for me, obviously, so K is my nickname, and yeah, I mean, in like the, how do I say this? In like this bubble of anime and gaming fans, my friends call me K as well, and I once had a friend who more prefers to call everyone by their real first name, and I don't know, it just felt weird to me. Even though in everyday life, like in my job, office work, my family, like it's totally fine. Of course, they call me by my real first name. But in my friend circle, I find it strange. So yeah, it's always a good thing to just make sure what anyone prefers, right? I'll have to ask her. Yeah. Yes. I'd hate to offend my idol. I can't believe I'm going to see my favorite writer. There's like, no way. This is all happening so fast. My goodness. I clap my cheeks with both palms. They feel flushed, which could be attributed in part to the hot water. But the other part comes, no doubt, from excitement. My heart's hammering like I've just finished running a relay. Am I allowed to be this happy? I'm so excited I can hardly sit still. I want to cheer and whoop and throw my hands up in the air. What did I do to deserve this? Is this a reward for being a really great person in a past life? Maybe I was a bodhisattva or something. Or maybe... I ponder, worrying at the nail of my thumb with my teeth. Am I dead? Have I been transported to another world? I could have gotten hit by a truck, just like Itsuki. I pinch myself. Ow. It hurts, which would suggest that I haven't ascended to heaven, and my reality doesn't waver. The bathwater continues to pool about me, warming my thighs and my torso, while another bead of perspiration drips down my forehead. It hits the surface of the water with a pronounced plip. The sound seems to echo throughout the bathroom. That puts paid to the dream theory too. There's only one explanation for this. This really is real. I'm going to meet my idol. I'm going to meet Hijiri. I sigh deeply and sink a few more inches into the warm water. I'm so happy I could die. I towel myself off after my lengthy bath and change into my pajamas. After retreating to my bedroom, I then decide to call Nina. It's getting late now. The clock on my bedside table says it's 10:30, but it's not so late Nina would be asleep. I don't think she'll mind an impromptu call. She is my friend despite, or maybe because of, her fussing. I search for Nina's number in my phone. My fingers are trembling and I misclick a couple of times. I've got a lot on my mind. I need to share my good news with somebody, stat, or I'm afraid I'll burst. Nina! Hey, Nina! I greet Nina cheerfully, almost breathlessly, when she picks up. Nina, you'll never guess what. What? I can't see Nina's face, but I can practically hear her furrowed brow through the other end of the phone. I was just about to have a bath. Make it quick, Mayo. I'll try, but I don't know if I can. This isn't something I can summarize quickly. It's pretty monumental, in fact. My whole life's about to change. No, it's changed already. I feel like a whole new person. Well, that isn't suspicious. Nina snorts. You haven't been talking to any shady people, have you? Like who? I don't know. Cult leaders, pyramid sellers, the Yakuza. The list goes on. I've only spoken to my Aunt Sarah recently and my parents. I don't think they're suspicious. I guess that's true. You're definitely the weirdest member of your family. Hey, how am I weird? That's not very nice. But it's true. I've seen your room and it's like weird central. It's full of Elf Forest merch. And I pout while doing a quick scan of my bedroom. As Nina says, my room really is full of Elf Forest merch. There's a bunch of posters all over the walls that show off my #1 waifu, Luruna. My shelves are stacked with every volume of the light novel, some in duplicate, and I own every volume of the manga series. A Lulana figure stands on my bedside table, and I have a few cheap crane figures of Astra and Luz by my laptop. My laptop is turned off right now, but if I pressed the power switch, I'd be greeted with an Elf Forest wallpaper. I own a few other Elf Forest trinkets too, keychains and towels, and a pass case for my Suica card. My room's become something of a shrine to the series during the last couple of years. I don't think there's anything creepy about it though. Nah, come on, that's not that bad. I've seen worse, and even then, I don't know if I would call it weird, but then again. I mean, friends who've been to my place know I also have a lot of stuff. Not necessarily just for one series, but yeah. Elf Forest is a good series and the girls are super cute. Why wouldn't I want to fill my room with Princess Luna's smiling face? Yikes. Oh geez, I swear I can hear Nina wincing. Don't you realize how cringy you sound, Mayo? You're acting like a teenage boy or something. That's Elf Forest's target audience. You're way outside of its strike zone. Elf Forest is mostly popular with teenage boys, true, but that doesn't mean I can't like it too. The series is only getting bigger and bigger as time goes on, and it'll get way more attention when the anime comes out. Guys and girls will love it, I'm sure. I don't love it. I think it's stupid. That's 'cause you've never given it a chance. I don't want to give it a chance. I'm too old for elves and monsters and sword fights. It's boring. Maybe to you, but Elfforest sales figures would disagree. It sells like hotcakes every time a new volume comes out. It's a work of undisputed genius. You always say that. Nina yawns, as she always does when I try to tell her about Elfforest's many merits. Nina just doesn't seem to get how deep the series is. It relies on a lot of standard fantasy tropes, yeah, but the way Rui, or should I say Hijiri, executes them is out of this world. The story's full of tension, but it's balanced out with a lot of cute moments between Itsuki and the girls are all adorable. I've never been that into light novels or even anime, but something about Princess Lurana really gets me. It was through Princess Lurana, in fact, that I got into Elfforest. I was walking back home from work, minding my own business, when I saw this cardboard standee of her set up outside our local Kinokuniya to advertise the release of the third light novel in the series. I laid eyes on that life-size Lurana cutout in all her sweet, purple-haired glory, and I think I fell a little bit in love. I simply had to go into the store after that to check out the series from which so perfect an angel descended. I bought all 3 volumes of Elfforest and tore through them the moment I got back home. I've been a diehard fan ever since. I've tried to tell my friends about how amazing Elfforest is, but none of them are particularly interested. They don't understand Luluna's appeal like I do. Luluna's a shy girl and she's often anxious, but she does her best to run her country regardless. She cares greatly about her people, and she's kind to a fault. Her scummy advisors are always trying to take advantage of her. Fortunately, Itsuki is there to support her. Itsuki and Luluna make such a cute couple. Their relationship is even more developed than those you see in TV dramas, and Elfforest is supposed to be a fantasy series with some action elements. If Itsuki ends up with Astra or Luz instead, I swear I'm going to lose it. Mayo? Oh! Nina sounds fed up. I must have been spacing out. That tends to happen when I think about Elfforest. Luluna in particular. Mayo, what is it? You've gone silent. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just thinking. To dial back there for a second, of course it sucks if she's the only one who's into the series and in her friend circle. And it's fine, of course, if you don't like every series. Like, Nina has a right to not be interested in Elfforest. But don't shit on your friends' fandoms. Come on. Like, don't shit on their interests. It's not cool. Just say, it's not for me, good for you, have fun. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just thinking about Princess Lunara. That's Luluna. I told you like a dozen times. Whatever. Ugh. Would it kill Nina to be less dismissive about the world's greatest work of fiction ever created? Kokoro, the pillow book, hell, the Tale of Genji. Get out of here. The Forest of the Elves and the Pleasure Princess has them all beat. So, what did you want to talk to me about? Oh, it's amazing, you'll never guess. I'm sure you're right. I never would guess, and neither do I want to. You should just come out and tell me. It'll save us the time. What? That's no fun. I don't want to sit around playing guessing games. I want to take a bath, like I said. Hurry up. Okay. I pout. Just Nina to suck all the enjoyment out of this. Oh well, I'm still in a super good mood. I won't let her negativity hurt me. This might sound unbelievable, but I pause for dramatic effect. Not that it really seems to be working. Nina is yawning again. I'm going to meet Tsuchimi Yuri next Monday. Huh? I'm pretty stoked by this announcement, and that's an understatement, but Nina doesn't seem to realize how monumental it is. I detect from the other end of the line mild confusion, mixed with perhaps a hint of annoyance. Did I make a mistake? Maybe I let slip Rui's real name rather than their pseudonym. There's no reason for Nina to know any Komikado Hijiri, but... Who's Tsuchimi Rui? What? I recoil, aghast, then cry out. Nina, please, don't tell me you don't know who Tsuchimi Rui is. I don't, or I wouldn't be asking. Are they a singer or something? No, they're not. They're a writer. The writer of The Forest of the Elves and The Pressure Princess. Oh, right. There's a pause. Then Nina sighs. That title is like way too long. What was the author thinking, giving their series such a dumb name? It can't be that dumb or the series wouldn't be so popular. Anyway, I clear my throat. Aren't you happy for me, Nina? This is incredible, right? Rui is my idol. It's not every day a girl gets to meet her favorite celeb, you know? It is kind of cool, I guess. But it'd be cooler if this Rui was a handsome actor or an idol or whatever. I don't get the hype myself, but I guess I'm happy for you. So, how'd this meeting come about? It's 'cause of my Aunt Sae. Get this, Nina. She's Tsuchimi Rui's publisher. She is? Yeah, I knew she was a publisher, but I had no idea she worked with light novels and stuff. I figured she only dealt with serious adult novels, like detective fiction or whatever. All this time, my aunt's been managing my favorite author, and I had no idea. It feels like the world as I know it's shifted or something. It's insane. And your aunt arranged for you to meet them? Kind of. It's a bit more complicated than that. I don't know how much I can tell you. Some of this info might be confidential, but Rui's been looking for a housekeeper. My aunt thought I might be a good fit for the job, so she suggested me. I'm going to Tsuchimi Rui's house on Monday to check it out. If they like me, I'll become their live-in maid. I make a conscious effort to fudge my pronouns while delivering this news. I always assumed, like most other denizens of the net, that Tsuchimi Rui was a guy. Now I know Rui is, in fact, a girl called Hijiri. But that's supposed to be a secret. I don't want to let that slip to Nina. I doubt she'd care about Rui's gender. I doubt she'd even remember it. But I want to try and respect Rui's or Hijiri's privacy. There must be a reason why Hijiri's been keeping her gender on the down low. This job will pay way better than my current one at Blue Mountain, and I'll be able to spend time with my idol. It's like I'm being paid to have my dreams come true. What do you think, Nina? I'm so excited, I'm positively bouncing up and down on my bed. This is cool, right? It's really, really cool. It's certainly unexpected. I wonder what Nina's doing on the other end of the line. Is she shaking her head? Do you think Rui will like you? I don't know. I have to wait and see, but I sure hope so. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. I'll wish you luck then, although... It seems like a strange fit. I can't imagine you as a housekeeper. You don't even like sweeping up at Blue Mountain. How are you gonna look after a whole ass house? I'll make it work somehow. I don't like cleaning, but I know all the basics. My mother taught me well. I kind of resented her for it in the past, but now I'm super grateful. I can do the dusting and the washing up and the laundry, no problem. I even know how to get stains out of carpets. It shouldn't be too hard. I think you're like underestimating things. If this Rui's half as popular as you say, I bet he'll be living in a huge house. That's a lot of cleaning for one lazy girl to handle. Maybe so, but I'll do it. I'd push boulders up a hill all day if that's what Rui wants. Wow. Nina whistles. You really are obsessed. I am! I'm like Tsuchimi Rui's #1 fan. Of course, none of this might matter if Rui doesn't like you. You might not get the job. Maybe not, but I'm trying not to think about that. The thought of being rejected by my favorite person in the world is a painful one. I think it'd be for the best if I didn't ponder this possibility, for the sake of my mental health. I've always thought it pointless to worry about the future, and my life's mantra applies readily here. I don't know what tomorrow might bring, so I won't think about it. It's simple. So, what happens if you do get the job? Will you have to move? Yeah, Rui lives out in the countryside. I can't say where exactly, but it's like a 4-hour train journey away from Tokyo. It wouldn't be feasible to commute. So, you'd be leaving your parents' place? Uh-huh. Your mother must be happy about that. Yeah, she's totally for it. I think she's sick of having me at home. It sounds like everybody would be happy then, if you got the job. I wish you luck, although... I grin. Will you miss me, Nina? A little, I guess. You are kind of fun to talk to, all this elf forest crap aside. But more than that, I'm pissed. Eh? I blink. What about? I'm going to have to take on even more shifts at Blue Mountain until the boss hires someone to replace you, and you already owe me for letting you off work half an hour early this afternoon. I hope you're planning on reimbursing me after you become rich, Mayo. I'll be waiting. I can hear the smirk in Nina's words, though I can't see her face. There's this super cute pair of heels I've been after ever since, like, last summer. I can't afford them right now, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind treating me, would you? Isn't that what friends are for? Okay, so that was quite a lot for an introduction. I didn't mean to make this first video so long, but yeah, it's a slow pace, which, as I said, I don't mind. Also, as you might have noticed, there were no choices in this so far, which is because this is a kinetic novel. I don't usually go for kinetic novels, but this one looked really cute, and yeah, as I said, I just wanted something lighthearted for now, and I just enjoy reading to you guys. So, I think this is enough for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, bye bye!